System 5 Options Weekly Paychecks Trading Signals Service. This is a new options signal service. It's also a stock trading service. Now, when we trade options, we are trading options on the stock. So this is a price action of sorts trading system, which means that you can just use the stock and trade the stock. Sometimes trading the stock is just easier, right? Because you're not dealing with the choice of options or any premium decay issues or any extra big bid-ask spreads and all that stuff that comes with vanilla options. But of course, vanilla options are nicely leveraged and allow us to make a lot of money with less money versus the stock. So we started off with the System 5 version 1, and it was going pretty well. And then I said, you know what, I bet we can do a little better. And so we combined some tweaks from some other system components. And now we have this System 5, well, it's technically System 5 version 1.1, and it is really good. Now, how do I say that? Well, look, here's an example. Here's a stock called Etsy. It's very popular. They sell all sorts of knickknacks and all sorts of things now. They're just growing real fast. And so the stock is not too old, but it has some nice momentum, and it has some very good follow through in its swings, and you can see that right here. Okay, and I want you to look here. Also, what particularly is quite excellent. Look at all the plus signs versus the minus signs. Okay, there's hardly any minus signs. All right, now that's not always the case, but this method we are using is a high precision method for picking entries. And so what we do, and why this service is unique, why it's nice to trade, it's nice for us to trade because it just reduces the workload. It's nice for you to trade because it reduces the workload. And what's the workload? The workload is following the trade day by day and adjusting the trail stop. That's most of the work. You got to keep adjusting that stop. I mean, it's not that much work, right? It's a minute or two a night. And if you're locking in profits, it should be exciting. But on the other hand, some people, they don't like using trail stops because then that may limit in their minds or their emotions the thought of limiting profit. It comes into mind with worry about stopping out too early. Okay, well, that's another concept that needs to be worked out. If one's a systems trader, they have to just work it out and study their system so much that they come to realization that it's good to actually use that trail stop, okay, to lock in those profits over time versus chasing some emotional euphoric peak. But here, my point is that we don't have to deal with that because what we have done is we figured out a way how to enter and then just get out 5 days later. That's it. Okay? There's no guessing. There's no trail stops. Okay? We have an initial stop. Yes. Okay. You always have to have that. An initial stop loss. So that defines your risk up front. And if you're trading options, you would use what? A contingent order. Technically, you can use a contingent order with the stocks too. And speaking of getting out 5 days later, you can use a contingent order to just get you out before the close 5 days later. And that's it. Okay, this is great. So look at this performance example here of Etsy. These are all the systems trades. These are all the trades. Okay, and so you look here, and you can see by month. Okay, figured maybe it's more helpful if you see it by month, and you can go look at the charts and this and that. And you can see these very, very nice gains, and the average gain is pretty good. Okay, and that's really great for options trading. Now, you're going to trade the options. As of this recording, the time of this recording, the options are pretty puffy. Okay, there's much volatility going on, and there's much anticipated volatility. So they're a little bit extra fat right now, but there's still very good opportunity, especially if you go a little bit in the money or a decent amount in the money and get those high deltas right away, right? Or just trade the stock and make it all easy. But since this site is called Options Weekly Paychecks, we're dealing with the options on this site. Okay, so we may put this up on our newer stock site, the Stock Trading Authority, and we may use different stocks for that, just so it's more accessible. Trading maybe lower price stocks, or just stocks that seem to fit better. Options, though, require certain stocks that have good options, right? We have to have options pricing by the market maker that is fair. Some of these market makers are they just don't price their options right. It's just too much. Okay, I hate to use the word greedy, but it doesn't fit. It's just trying to squeeze everything and puff that up too much, like trying to make it a trap without being fair, right? Anyways, so you can use in the money options, right? Or you can just use a stock. This is a great system. Getting out 5 days later really helps a lot. It feels good. It's fun, and it's just and it's fitting because there's a 5-day cycle, particularly with these momentum triggers. The first system, the engine behind the System 5 signals, had several more losses. Okay, in terms of wins the losses, it did really well, but now we refined it to this higher precision method. So that's about it. If you have any questions, let us know. But all you do is sign up, and if you want to trade right away, that's up to you. Otherwise, sign up and watch it just to see and prove to yourself that these signals are similar to what you're seeing here. Of course, stocks behave different at different times, depending on what's going on in the markets in general, and then the cycles within the year. But you can see here, okay, when Etsy is putting in its moves, but just that could change. The whole cycle can change, and the faster times could cycle into a different few months, and so on. All right, but so we put out the signals. We look to trade each one because it's a system, right? We look to do that, and then we look to stack up the profits and build. This is cash flow, right? The paycheck concept, but we look to also build our account up so our average paycheck, our average monthly paycheck, average weekly paycheck can be bigger over time as our position size grows. All right, so now the concept of the weekly paycheck here is more in that we get out 5 days later, which is a week. Right, so it's not every week. We're not trying to force the markets here in this case. We do have other systems that do that, but this one is we want a good precision entry that can trigger us into a nice juicy move and just get out 5 days later, and that's it. All right, so you want to put this to work, right? Just sign up and let's get rolling. If you have any questions, let us know, and you'll go to a member's back office. You'll get access. And then when we have new signals, we'll just send out an email. Okay, there's no rush. We go after the markets. This is all after the markets. A few minutes a night. That's it. Okay, a few minutes a night of trading, and it's all done after the markets or before the open the next day. Okay, sometimes it's better to check. It's better to enter your trades right before the market, just to see what's going on. If anything crazy is going on, if your stock just gapped way out of hand, then of course you just skip that entry. But so that's something to think about. But look to put out the signals in the late afternoon, early evening, and it's really simple. Okay, so if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, just scroll below, click the add to cart button, and get started.